Hey, Shalom. Kol halalim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the prophets of that body, and Shalom to the 144,001 third. May peace and blessings and the spirit of endurance be upon you and your households as we approach the end. Okay, I'm certainly going to Israelite Foreigners because being an Israelite foreigner myself, and I've got someone here on the screen who's from the same, I believe, the same heritage as myself. He's Northern Indian, he's Punjabi, and there's a huge stronghold in India. Okay, people that are not that didn't grow up around so-called South Asians or people from that part of the world, the East, especially India, usually assume that everyone from India are the same people. No, absolutely incorrect. Okay, Bengalis or Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Gujaratis. Okay, even though it's a country, India may as well be a damn continent. We don't all look alike. We don't speak the same language. People don't have the same religions or cultures. Okay, the people that put their head up, that worship cows and all that other shit, right? I don't eat beef are Hindus. Okay, this Jake over here, rapper by the name of Jay Worthy, he's Northern Indian, right? Now, regardless with his gang affiliation, all this blood shit, I'm not concerned about that. Okay, because we know some of our people are, are immersed in this world and doing certain things um, which aren't for the which are not beneficial for our people. Okay, I'll just say that. But regardless, okay, it's just pointing out the fact that Israelites, right? If even if you now this brother, I mean this Jay can pass for a Latino, easy, right? As most Northern Indians can. All right, he can pass for a Gadite, he can pass for an Ephraimite, you know. But he could be a Judite, which I got because going by his surname, which is Sidhu, Sidhu, just like that the guy with a turban, Sidhu Musewala, who was shot 12 times in India a couple of years ago. The same surname, the same sub tribe in northern India. Okay, so which I believe he could be a Judite. So, but only the Lord knows, right? That's just my spiritual sort of how because I've grown up around different different because within Israelites in northern India, you got like different tribes amongst Jake up there as well that go within the Punjabi culture, right? Or castes or whatever, and I think these lot are more than likely Judite. Hence the reason why he rolls with Judah the way he does. Uh, you know, that's just me just me spiritually analyzing the situation. But I'm not going to play it because this is a rap video called Meet the Whoops. You can check him out yourself. The guy's got a lot of flavor, a lot of the guy's poetic, man. The guy, I mean, he does that old school shit that I like, that I grew up on. Okay. Nevertheless, that's a Jake right here. Okay. Rapper Jay Worthy, originally from Canada, born and raised. I'm just kind of perplexed. Not perplexed. Is perplexed the right word? One second. Yeah, I'm kind of perplexed, confused with his name. It says his name is Jeffrey James Sidhu. Now I'm thinking, okay, maybe his family converted into wacky-tacky Christianity. I don't know. Hence the so-called English name, even though the names Jeffrey and James are our Israelite names, of course. But I'm just going by the culture that he grew up in. But nevertheless, his surname is standing there, Sidhu, which goes to show that he is from a Sikh family, Sikh. Um, he's not from they're not the Sikhs that are what you call them Orthodox, have the turbans and the beards and all that, the long beards, because most Sikhs with a turban and the beard are Israelites. Brother Napash of GMS UK, the tall Turkish brother with the reddish hair and beard, he even brought that out, which is true. Most Sikhs are Israelites. Okay, I've grown up around them. I know because I'm from that heritage myself. So therefore, It only makes sense, okay? And our people are going to be scattered to the four corners of the earth. Now, sometimes you might think, oh, that guy looks Latino or he looks so-called black, but he grew up in a different culture. And even if they don't have the so-called Latino or so-called black look or the native Indian look, and they look completely different, they look like that nation that they were that you assume they are. Sometimes when they, if the Lord blesses them with the ability for music and harmonies and, that Jake that Jakeness, because we're the former of all things, the talent, the skill. Sometimes that Romans 8:16, the Spirit beareth witness. Sometimes that's highlighted, and the way it's highlighted is with this Jake is simply number one how he looks, number two the shovel teeth, which I can kind of see as well. Brought up by Elder Malcolm about the teeth and all that kind of thing, the skull shapes. Elder Malcolm of GMS Chicago, and also the skill set that he has as well. Sometimes that's highlighted, okay? Because I look at a lot of Israelites every day, and I look at them. I said, nah, man, they look like straight up Indians, or they look like this and look like that. But I know they're Israelites. I even look at certain. The Lord has hidden a lot of Israelites, man. Hosea 1:10. We are the largest nation on this earth, man. Let's go to the scriptures. 1 second. Let's go to some scriptures. Okay. So let's have a look. All right. There he is again. All right. Check him out. J Worthy. All right. P Worthy. Right. I like some of his shit. It's pretty good. Now you got some dumb so-called black woman here, right? I was reading this comment, what she made on Twitter. This is from last year, and no one's really commented on. This dumb broad, right, called him a white Indian because he's got a high yellow complexion. All right, okay, because he's got a high yellow. Look at this woman, Messa. Jay Worthy is a white Indian from Vancouver, Canada, that moved to Toronto at 17 and became a blood, and I will never get over that. Okay, I don't give a shit about the gangs, but the curses are in Canada as well. The Bloods and Crips, that's there too. All right. If you're familiar with the area of Jane and Finch in Toronto, that's the projects over there. And over there, you got a whole bunch of Israelite foreigners, East Indian Israelite foreigners, Somalian, Nigerian, West Indian, and they all grow up together in the same gangs. Marrying each other's sisters and all that shit. And there's some beautiful children over there, all Israelites, well for the most part, that have all these diverse looks. And I was wrote here, you Americans are dumb. Okay, I mean, because I said Americans because most Americans are dumb, especially that ones that are not in the truth, because they assume that everybody has got to have a certain complexion. So-called black people, right, would accept an Eve marrying, having children with an Edomite. If the children come out looking like Polite, they're considered so-called black. See this blackity black shit. Esau's done a number on Jake, man. Okay, yeah. Jay Worthy's a white Indian. How the fuck is a white Indian, man? Because the dude's got a high yellow complexion, he's white now? I couldn't believe it. I said, what? White? I said, over here, if he was walking around, he clearly is not a white guy. It's just madness, complete madness. All right? Okay, he goes by Jeffrey James professionally and in legal context, but his full heritage is Jeffrey James Sidhu. The mix-up. Okay, this is the guy who got shot. See the guy with the turban here? Sidhu Musewala, with the guy with the turban. All right, and another Jake there. All right, the mix-up. It is easy to see how he's sometimes confused with the late Punjabi Canadian rapper Sidhu Musewala, Shubdeep Singh Sidhu, who also had massive ties to the Canadian music scene. However, Jay Worthy is a completely different artist who is primarily known for his West Coast G-funk and underground hip-hop. Indian roots. Before his music career fully took off in Compton, he actually used his family's business connections in India to import and sell hair weaves in California. Okay? And now everybody say, he sells hair weaves. That's what the heathen do. But yeah, you got to understand, though. A lot of people that don't know that they're Jake. I didn't know I was Jake growing up. But you find out later on. Okay? So you got Israelite foreigners that own stores. But because they got a certain name and a certain look, right? And even if they look like a Jake, they look like a Latino, but they got a certain name. They got like a so-called East Indian name or a name from that part of the world. Esau Edom's going to give you benefits. So you might get a loan quicker than somebody with a surname Sanchez. You might get a loan quicker than someone with a surname um, Muhammad or something. If Jake is, Jake is a Muslim or something. You understand? So some of our people are involved, in these things, owning stores in Jake neighborhoods, and they assume that they're not even Jake, but they're, these are the curses. You know, these are the curses of looking different, being everywhere. But the Lord had to hide us the way the Lord has even hidden certain, like the Lord says in the scriptures, how He's hidden Moab, even a lot of Chinese people, approximately 15 generations. Okay, Brakti Abashim 144. Okay, 15 generations Jake has been in the land of China. All right, do you think we got the same look today? You know, you started off looking like let's just say Idris Elba, right? 15 generations ago, someone like Idris Elba had a son with a beautiful, fine ass Moabite woman back in the day, right? And his son had a son, then his son had a son, his son had a son, his son had a son. Moabite woman, Moabite woman, Moabite woman, Israelite foreigner woman, but with a Moabite look, so forth and so on, or Moabite women, so forth and so on. 15 generations later, what do you think they're gonna look like? They're gonna look like Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Hence the reason why Bruce Lee moves the way he does. He stands out. He's got that Jakeness. Romans 8:16. The Spirit beareth witness. Okay, the same way with Sidhu. Okay, let's go to Hosea 1 and 10. I'm trying to make this quick. Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. Okay? We're like the sands of the sea, we're everywhere. Were we not in captivity in the land of Persia, which is Iran today? Iran is on the borderline of Punjab, northern India. Okay? Remember, India has been attacked many times by conquerors, the Turks, the crackers, Muslim invaders, the Greeks, right? So Jake has been all up in that place. So in India alone, you got a lot of Edomites, you got a lot of Israelites with Irish names, all right? You got a lot of Israelites that look Indian with Portuguese or Spanish surnames in the southern part of India, northern India, okay, the stronghold, which is basically where you get all the Bollywood movie stars and those fine ass Bollywood actresses from the, if you Google Bollywood actresses from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you'll see how beautiful and fine them women are. Okay? Those are mainly northern Indian women, and most of them are Israelites. Hence the reason even Elam knows where to get the talent from, where the people that are good looking. Because, the Lord is the first author of beauty, and you think that's why we look the best. Even Israelite foreigners, Jake looks the best. Okay? We're everywhere. All the numerous captivities we've been in. It's not just America, all right? Jake goes to war, World War I, World War II, goes abroad, different countries. You get horny. What happens? You go link up with a woman, you pull a woman or whatever. You might, you let one out. She's impregnated. You might die in war, or you might leave. You might get shipped off to another country or come back home, and you forget about her, right? The woman that you had sex with has a son, and the son comes out looking like the mother. Okay, that's a Jake there, a covert Jake. The Lord has hidden a lot of Israelites. So Esau, Edom, hence the reason why this cracker does a lot of censuses, even though a census is against the scriptures. You're not supposed to count the children of Israel. But Esau, Edom, tries to see who's who. Hence the reason with these, what do you call them? These DNA tests and ethnicity tests and blood tests. They're trying to find out where Jake is. That's why they're trying to vaccinate everyone during the 1-9 thing, so they can get the children of Israel, so they can stop the prophecies. Okay? But they can't do that. You can't pluck the elect out of the Lord's hand. And that, even whatever, I'm just saying, whether Jay Worthy or other Jake foreigners out there are part of the elect, and I'm sure there are, okay? But whether he's part of the elect or not, I don't know. Probably just a 2/3 ninja, just like the rest. But only the Lord knows, okay? Okay, I'm only speculating from the outside looking in, but this is all I'm trying to say is that our people are everywhere. We're scattered to the four corners of the earth, okay, due to the curses. You know, we're princes in exile. Okay, we're not in our homeland anymore. We've got heathens in our homeland. Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Okay? We're scattered to the four corners of the earth, grew up in different cultures, doing different things, you know? And then lo and behold, many, many years later, with the mercy and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, some of us have woken up. Okay? But only a remnant is going to be saved. Not everyone's going to be saved this time round. Okay? Let's go to Isaiah. Let me go to the speckled birds scripture. So, and then we'll go to Isaiah 11 and 11. I mean, me personally, as a man, especially when it comes to, obviously the ladies, I like our women having diverse looks. I like straight hair. I like woolly hair. I like curly hair. You know, I like different shades of brown. You know, I think personally, even though we know that blue eyes and green eyes is recessive, but I think blue eyes and green eyes on a gorgeous woman, especially with brown skin, looks beautiful because the eyes are more enhanced that way with the brown skin, right? But that's just me, you know. Um, as most men, we like diversity, you know. And our people are going to look like everybody, man. Okay? Just imagine if everybody had the so-called Negro look. Esau will just say, okay, there they all are. Let's put all these so-called black people in one country, and then what we'll do, we'll nuke it. Therefore, we'll get rid of the Israelites. Hey, the Lord has covered every part, man. Okay? The Lord is playing chess against himself. Because remember, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai controls the right-hand side and the left-hand side. Isaiah 45, verse 7. All right? Jeremiah 12 and 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour. A speckled bird, like a speckled bird has light brown spots, tan spots, yellow spots, pale spots, pink spots. The same way our people are going to look like everybody, man. Okay? All right? Some of our people, as unfortunate as it is, are even going to look like straight up crackers, man, with that pink, horrible pig skin, you know, those demonic, you know, the demonic look, yellow hair and shit, you know? They're going to look like a right cracker, but, look like they belong in the KKK. But some of them are actually so-called nice people and are Jake. Hey, man, the Lord is, the Lord is amazing, man. All right. So the Lord, we're very diverse looking, man. Very diverse looking. All right. And Isaiah 11:11. That's the one. Actually, let's go to even though this scripture, right, is referring to the Moabites, the so-called Chinese, because our people are scattered there, but this is still a scripture that will highlight the fact, we got Israelite foreigners, that look like other nations, or you assume they are other nations, okay? So our people are covert, okay? Even in the land of Moab, India, every part of the world, man. Isaiah 16 and 4. Let mine outcasts dwell with thee. Moab, be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at hand, is at an Salakia. Let mine outcasts dwell with thee. Moab, be thou a covert. Salakia, man, I'm just excited. Let mine outcasts dwell with thee. Moab, be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at an end. The spoiler ceaseth, the oppressors are consumed out of the land. Okay? Be thou a covert to them. Okay? What does covert mean? Let's go to the definition of covert. The word covert means hidden, secret, or not openly displayed. Okay? A lot of us Israelites are hidden, secret, or not openly displayed. Okay? Some of us don't have the original look. Okay? Some of us are blending in with the people with people's assumptions. Oh, that guy's an Indian. Oh, that guy's Chinese. Oh, that guy's white. Oh, that guy's Italian. Oh, that guy's German. Oh, that guy, he's Eritrean. Oh, yeah, that guy's just a black guy from Alabama. You know, okay. Everybody talks about the so-called black Israelites, even though we look like everybody. All right, okay. The word covert means hidden. A lot of our people are hidden, secret, or not openly on display. You know, didn't I just mention that? Okay, if everybody had the so-called, let's just say everybody looked like a Judite. You know, wouldn't it be easier for Esau, Edom, as carnal as they are, say, oh yeah, there they are. Let's go and get all those so-called black people. Let's annihilate them. Not knowing, okay, yeah, you can do that. Okay, but there are Israelites in Latin America. There are Israelites in Ireland. There are Israelites in Scotland, India, Italy. Okay, and even if you did annihilate all so-called black people with the original look, you think that DNA or that an Italian or someone who's from northern India can't have a child and the child won't come out with kinky hair and dark skin? The Lord's going to make that happen. That look will always be here because it's the prominent, prime, superior look. Okay, because a so-called black man, okay, that look is a top look on the planet under the spirit power of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, because our Father looks like that, Daniel 7 verse 9, and our King looks like that. All right, in the book of Revelation. Is it Revelation 14? Revelation? No, that's Revelation 1 verse 1, right? I just want to make sure that I quote it correct. I'm not going to read it. Okay, yeah, Revelation 1 verse 1, the revelation of Yahweh Shai, Mashiach. Yeah, this is the one, right? Let me go to the view to the chapter. Yep. Okay, that's cool. I said Daniel 7 verse 9. I've got to check up because I've quoted something. I just want to make sure I quoted it correct. Daniel 7 verse 9. Yep. Daniel 7 verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. See? Man, our Father in heaven, man, looks like that. That's a superior look, son. But we're going to look diverse on the planet, just like a garden. Even in the kingdom, we're going to look very diverse. All right? No one's going to look like a honky or gookified, with them chop suey eyes and shit. But everyone's going to look beautiful, and diverse and different shades of brown. And, it's going to be, man, it's going to be amazing. Let's go to Isaiah 11:11. Okay, we've already had the, already had the first Exodus. All right. African Hamite Egypt. Now the second Exodus is on the horizon. Let's go here. Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam. But Elam is India, Iran types locations. Okay, as well as those people that are scattered to the four corners of the earth, Deuteronomy 28 verse 64, and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. All right. I see rapper Jay Worthy rapping with Judites with the original look. I see him rapping with the Booyah tribe Jakes, the sons of the son of one of the Booyah tribe Jakes. I believe it's Cobra, the one who did all the dancing for Booyah tribe, the Simone Jakes. Now, I'm not saying all Simones are Jake. I'm saying those Simones, the Booyah tribe, those are Israelites, Israelite foreigners. Okay, I see him rapping with all of them, and I'm looking at these lot. I'm looking at the Judite brothers with their look, and I'm looking at Jay Worthy, and I'm looking at the family members of Booyah tribe, and I'm thinking there's Samoan Israelites there, there's the East Indian Israelite there, and there's the Israelites there with the original look, and they're all rapping together, man, on a cipher, or it was a song. You can Google it. There's so much shit out there on Jay Worthy. And I'm looking at these lot and I'm thinking, man, they're all Israelites. They don't even know it. They're all the same race. They don't even know it. They'd assume that, okay, yeah, we've got one thing in common with brown, different shades of brown. Cool. We're all from West Coast or whatever. They've got that in common. But they don't even realize that, they're the same as the Northern Kingdom will say, the same rasa, you know. It's amazing, you know. Let's go to verse 12 here. Isaiah 11 and 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations. Actually, let's go here to the next verse from here. Yeah, here we go. Isaiah 11 and 12. Excuse me. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So both northern and southern kingdom are going to be gathered, during that great on that great day when the Lord beams up his elect. Okay, so we're going to come from everywhere, man. This ain't no just so-called black thing. All right, we are everywhere. A lot of you guys that are married to women of different nations, your wife, you assume might be Indian or white or Chinese or whatever. She could be an Israelite foreigner. You don't know. The Lord will let you know, though, if you're in the truth. That's for sure. Okay? But nevertheless, even if you're with a heathen woman, it don't matter. Just don't follow her doctrine. And, and your children are still Israelites because you are whatever your father is. Numbers 1, verse 18. All right? You are whatever your daddy is, regardless of, even if you come out looking straight just like your mother. All right? You are whatever your daddy is. Hence the reason, what? Women always take on the man's last name, the family name, the family name, the family name. The women take on the family name because what? You are from the house of your fathers. Okay? That's why women always want to have a son. Why? Because they want to have someone, and also a man wants to have a son because he wants someone to carry on the family name. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there now. Let's have one more look at where's Worthy at. Where's Mr. Sidhu? I'll just pronounce it in the dialect, the Punjabi dialect, Mr. Sidhu. All right, there he is. All right, check him out. I'm not gonna play it, man. You probably might get flagged for that. But yeah, check him out. Israelite foreigner here, Jake, Northern Indian, Punjabi. All right. Anyway. All right. And he's not from a Muslim or a Hindu dot-head family, okay? He's a similar kind of family background to myself. All right. But he's a Jake foreigner, though, and he's a Jake, definitely. All praises to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yashai, B'Hashem Rakak. Our people are everywhere, man. You're going to see in these last days. All right. Our people are everywhere. Okay. But a lot of our people are going to get it. All right. Zechariah 13 and 8 and 13 and 9. 1/3 is only going to make it through. But this is still highlighting the fact that our people are going to come from all walks of life. Okay, Isaiah 11 and 11 and 12 highlights that. Anyway, all praise to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yashai, B'Hashem Rakak, Mawathabad, Babal, Kom Yashra, Shalom.